Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Dead Men Walking Podcast Bracket 2025 Best Reformed Bracket. And boy, has it been a fun ride. We surpassed 1 million views this time, about 80,000 plus votes. The final four just ended about an hour ago, and boy, was it exciting. I've got the shades on because the future is bright, because essentially we are going down to a Baptist versus Presbyterian final, and we have some of the guys on here. We're going to talk about them beating basically the reigning champs. Kings Hall and Haunted Cosmos were in the finals last year. They made it to the final four, but we have two new finalists. But first, I want to throw it out to the sponsors. We have Josiah from Dominion Wealth Strategists. Give us a little bit about what you do and what you think about the bracket so far.
Oh, yeah. So, my name is Josiah Still. I am the founder of Dominion Wealth Strategists, the only distinctly reformed financial consulting firm. So if you need help with anything from budgeting, debt management, savings, life insurance, retirement planning, estate planning, business coaching, you name it, we're able to help you. And we do basically all of that free of charge. So we're just trying to help the church get back on their feet financially, get over Dave Ramsey, get some actually good financial advice out there, and help us take dominion. All right, the bracket so far has been very interesting. A couple of upsets. I did expect Haunted Cosmos and Kings Hall to make it to the finalists, but I was pleasantly surprised to find they only made it to the semifinals. And now we're down to two relative newcomers. All right, we get to see some non-Ogden boys taking home a trophy this year.
Awesome, Joe from Squirrely Joe's sipping on my wisdom here this morning. Give us a little bit about Squirrely Joe's and what do you think about the bracket so far?
Yep. So we're a specialty coffee roaster in Southern Illinois. We're 99% e-commerce, so we ship all over the U.S. So if you're a Calvinist and you drink coffee, then we're the coffee company for you. So that's why it's exciting to be a part of this bracket and sponsor it. And same as Josiah, last year, those guys just dominated. I mean, it wasn't even much of a contest last year. And this year, I kind of expected the same thing, but there was several nail biters where I kept, refreshing, to see how the vote was going. And it's just funny that there's people that care so much about this voting thing. And like we talked about last night, people like to rank things, and we're definitely proving that to be true.
Absolutely. Terry Mann from Patriarch Cigars got some right here, getting ready to smoke a end of bracket cigar tomorrow when this thing finishes up. Give us a little info on you and what do you think of the bracket so far?
We're Patriarch Cigars, patriarchcigars.com. You can find us on all the social medias. We're a Christian cigar company, just some three brothers of the local church here trying to build a Christian company and enjoy some good cigars. And we're just really glad to be a part of this. This has been awesome for us. I mean, it's really exploded our following on social medias, and our orders are already up. So, I mean, can't thank you guys enough. And it's been a lot of fun to watch the bracket, see what's going on. It's been a really fun battle so far. And like I said yesterday, I was voting for Haunted Cosmos because I love those guys, and I'm looking for Sasquatch too. But I was really hoping it'd come down to Matt and Keith, because I want to see this debate finally settled, because like I said yesterday, Presbyterians just keep their cigars way too humid. So I'm hoping that we can solve that when you guys come together to debate.
Okay, you're supposed to fully immerse the cigar one time. That's it.
What's funny is I keep mine. I am Presbyterian, but I do keep mine at about 68. I found that's the sweet spot for me.
Good man.
Nice. Also, I'd be remiss not to mention winner is going to receive a Bible from one of our other sponsors, Rockwell Bible. It is an ESV, Creeds and Confession, gray cowhide, stamped and ready to go. It's absolutely beautiful. He also, Adam also does banners. So guess what? Winner's getting a little banner. Maybe they can put it up in their studio. You're going to get one of those. Obviously, we have Parker from Vindicated Productions, who is going to pick out the best content of this last 10 days and give them a months worth of audio and video production, editing, a $500 value. And then, of course, Eschatology Matters, who was in the bracket, but has also said they're going to go through, look at content, look at interaction, give away an Eschatology book pack. So thank you to all those sponsors. But on to the two finalists. We have Keith Foskey from Your Calvinist and Matthew Everhard from his channel. I don't know, do we call it the Matthew Everhard Show, the podcast, or you just go just by the name, Matthew Everhard?
It's just my name, Matthew Everhard. That's all I got.
It seems to be working.
When your name is cool as Everhard. I mean, you just got a cool name.
Yeah.
Foskey is not cool.
Foskey's cool.
No, it kind of reminds me of a dentist, but yeah.
I used to have a boss,
Dr. Foskey, to get a cavity pulled.
I used to sell cars, and the manager of the car place called me Foskey the Snowman. So that would have been a neat show name. Like
that is good. That's pretty good.
Snowman podcast. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The final four was insane. Over 11,000 votes cast, over 250,000 views just on your guys' final four. We had you two were going up against, and I believe you're both first-time finalists as well, and I think Matthew first time in this bracket. So it's pretty amazing. You're going up against the King's Hall Haunted Cosmos, which was the 2 previous years finalists. So I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be tough. And then late in the day yesterday, Brian puts out a call to Ogden, and we see a huge surge. And even momentarily, both, I think Haunted Cosmos and King's Hall overtook both you guys by maybe 0.5% or 1%. And then I know you guys rallied your troops on both your podcasts. I know guys like Andrew Rappaport was out there. There was other guys saying, no, we've got to see Foskey and Everhard in the finals. And boy, was it a barn burner. Keith Foskey won his round, 52.3% of the vote, so winning by 2.3%. And then Matthew Everhard, even closer, squeaking it out, 50.6%, just over 0.5%. But boys, it is so cool to see you guys in the finals. And frankly, I'm happy to see the debate that was promised. I think that might have put you guys over the top, because everyone wants to see you guys talk on possibly the mode of baptism, which I find interesting. But either one of you guys jump in here and tell me what you think of the bracket so far and how it feels to be in the finals.
Well, I'll go first, Keith, if you don't mind. I think one of the things that we're seeing here is actually two things. First, this is the rise of the YouTubers. Keith and I, both of us, are primarily on YouTube. Now, we also have other, podcasting ventures. I've got Spotify, and I think Keith does too, if I'm not mistaken, but YouTube is our bread and butter. So that might be part of it. But the other thing that Keith and I have in common is, honestly, this is the year of the nice guy. I think both Keith and I have really tried to stress Christian charity, faithfulness with doctrinal precision and insight, but also just kind of a Christian joyfulness that maybe that's missing in other competitors. I really appreciate competing against Keith. In fact, I'll be the first one to admit I voted for you, Keith. I sent you the screenshot of that. I voted for you last year, even when we went up against each other. And Keith voted for me, so we have a true friendship in this. And there was definitely a sense in which we were teammates together to try to conquer the big guys. And I'm glad we did it. And one more thing, Keith, I'm upping the ante. Not only are we going to debate each other on the mode of baptism coming up, the details of which we need to settle, but I'm also putting a championship belt on the line. I am going to buy for the winner a championship belt like you see in WWE. And if you beat me, I will mail it to you, good sir. And if I beat you, as I fully intend to, I'm going to buy that belt for myself, and I will wear it when I debate you and beat you again on baptismal mode.
The gauntlet has been set. What do you say to that, Keith?
Well, I just hope that belt comes in double X, because I'm a big guy. So just make sure they put a few extra notches in that belt, okay?
You sling it over your shoulder like a real champ,
Yeah, that's right. Hey, speaking of that, can I? Is there any way that I am able to show a video clip? I'm going to try to do that.
Do it.
All right, here. I just posted it. You have to click on it, Greg. This is how I feel right now.
Let me see. How do I click on? You're over here doing stuff I don't even know how to do. Is it the one that says screen recording, add to stage?
That's it. This is me and Matthew this round.
Maybe I went here with the wrong guy. Come on, watch yourself. Ready?
So if you get that's how I feel right now, Matthew, because you and I started this thing. You can take that out now. I think.
All right, there we go.
You go. Yeah. So this is how I feel right now, Matthew, because you and I actually contacted each other when this thing began. There's 128 podcasts, and you and I said, you know what? If we make it to the end, because we did in the cigar smoking championship, or at least we made it to the semis.
Yeah. You beat me in the semis there. Yeah.
I said, if we make it to the end, we've got to do something really special, because you and I are friends outside of all of this craziness. And that's when he said, well, we'll debate baptism. And then you had the idea, well, we'll debate the mode of baptism, because I've debated infant baptism 3 times with 3 different Presbyterians. I thought, you know, who wants to hear what I have to say anymore on that? But the mode
plus
of
you're
baptism,
0 for 3 on those debates, so
maybe we should do 2 debates then, if you really feel that way.
No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, but baptismal mode is interesting because, James White and other guys have debated infant baptism. There's already some really good infant baptism debates on there, including your own. But baptismal mode is something a little bit different. I think that's going to be a fun one to talk about, immersion versus pouring, which will be really cool.
Yeah, something different. And I have said I'm going to come dressed as Spurgeon. I was even listening this morning. I went on YouTube and I put in Charles Spurgeon's accent. And there are people who actually have tried to mimic his accent. I'm going to try to learn it so that when I debate, I'm going to come with that strong 18th century or 19th century English accent. So I'm bringing it, man. I'm going to bring the fun.
Yeah, so we're getting all kinds of comments here. It looks like people are excited that the Ogden boys were defeated, and they're really happy to see 2 new guys in the finals here. And then Austin says, Matt's the clear underdog on this card, but I feel a knockout punch coming from Everhard in the last round after this debate.
I think so, too. I think Austin's the man. He knows what's up.
We're just
a lot of support here for Everhard. Keep pouring it on, Everhard, says Kristen Jones. And we've got guys from Britain and India both saying, hey, what's up? We're watching and we're looking forward to the debate as well. So very cool.
Well, Christian Jones is my youth director. He's literally in the other room right over there. So of course he's chiming in to cheer me on.
Can I tell you a secret, Matthew? And this is only for you and me, nobody else. All the other people listening can't hear this. I did vote for you, but I voted for you tangentially. And let me tell you what I mean by that.
Okay.
You and I had agreed, a gentleman's agreement, and we do this every time we vote for one another in the final round. Yep. But Greg posted the votes so quickly that I didn't even realize it was the vote, and I accidentally hit my own name. So I voted for myself. So I told my wife, I said, you have to vote for Matthew. No, I promise. It was like, because I clicked and I said, no, I had a gentleman.
Right.
Yes.
And
yeah.
my wife was actually the one who would have voted for me, but voted for you. And I sent you the screenshot of her phone. And I said, I'm going to tell him eventually that it wasn't actually me, but I just figured I'd tell the world. I held up my end of the bargain, but in a tangential way.
Well, before we say another word, I think it's awesome for the sponsors that put together this tournament. I've been trying to shout you guys out every round, dedicating some victories to you guys. If it wasn't for the sponsors for this tournament, then none of this would be happening. So thank you to you, Greg. Thank you to all of the guys that have been cheering us on. Thanks for all the votes, but the sponsors especially, I really hope people go on and give them a follow. And if you patronize their various products, that you actually follow up and get some good stuff from some good Reformed guys out there. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Josiah's face is in a lot of my videos. I don't know if you noticed that, Josiah, like y'all's commercial plays and our golf cart videos and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's at the end of a lot of them. I like to check.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Johnny Hernandez says, I watch both Everhard and Keith a lot, but Keith has got to win this one. Parker Brown, one of our sponsors over there at Real Parker Brown, says Ogden fell. He seems to be happy about that. Joe or Terry or Josiah, what do you guys think about this final? You've got both of them on the live stream here. You're going to have to pick one, and I'm going to make you pick one. So you're going to make one person happy and one uncomfortable. What's your predictions? Who do you think is going to win?
Well, it's good to see the rise and fall of the Ogden Empire. But between Matthew Everhard and your Calvinist, initially looks like Keith Foskey's taking a lead. You've got nearly a 10-point lead. It's only an hour in, so there could be an upset. But again, with the momentum of your Calvinist, with the momentum that Keith Foskey tends to have, I'm not going to make a value judgment, but I do think he is going to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
I would just say the Presbyterians right now, for my Presbyterian brothers, we're at brunch having martinis. We vote around 1:00.
Well, the Baptists are still hanging out, still asleep. So I'm just waiting for them to wake up so they can come.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Joe?
I think Keith's going to take it. I've got some loyalty with him just because, the podcast and some advertisements, and, we chat a little bit in the DMs. And Matthew's never messaged me, so
what?
Gotta go with Keith.
Oh. Terry, what's going on, brother? What do you think?
Man, Ethan and I were talking about this morning. I got to vote for my fellow Baptist, and I have tried really hard to be Presbyterian. I really have, and maybe you'll convince me, Matthew, in this debate. I'm all ears. I read more Presbyterians. I love you guys. You just haven't convinced me on baptism yet. So
that's all right. That's all right.
But I love you guys both. And yeah,
I just have to say, I've met so many Reformed Baptists that go, I read more theology of Presbyterians, but I'm still a Baptist. Like, you're reading the books. Come on over. No.
I'm trying, man. Maybe I'm just a dumb logger out here in Oregon. I don't know, but
that's
I'm
okay,
trying.
Man. That's all right. That's all right. I would vote for Keith too, and honestly, I do feel that he is definitely the he's the heavyweight here. I'm the underdog.
Very nice.
No question about that. No question about that. I am the underdog. Keith has been a finalist or has done very well before in last year's summer tournament. He won that one. And the early votes look amazing for Keith. Early rounds, he crushed. He was getting like 80s and 90% and high 70s, whereas I was, squeaking by a little bit more. But I'm just thankful to be here. I feel like the kid in the candy shop that somehow I found myself here. I know I don't deserve it. I'm glad for it though. And I think the fun, the fact that Keith and I announced from the very first round that we were going to debate if we made it into the finals is kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy for us. I think a lot of people put us through just because they want to see that. So, the Ogden guys too. And, Brian Sauvé put out a post late yesterday kind of trying to rally his troops. I think he sensed that the handwriting was kind of on the wall, that this was harder than they thought. And the post itself was like, oh, we haven't been trying very much. We just coasting through. We haven't been trying very much. But I noticed that the video was highly edited, had a cameraman, had some jump cuts in there. Looked like a pretty hard try towards the end of the night, but unfortunately it was a little too late. And I looked today, not that I was going to post I told you so or anything like that, but I think that post got deleted, at least on his Facebook page. So there may be some serious humble pie taking place as the Ogden Empire realizes they can be beat out by two. Basically, we're just solo pastors doing our thing, tending our congregations and doing tiny little YouTube channels, and now beating these big guys, these big heavyweight hitters in the Reformed world. So pretty thankful for that. Pretty awesome.
Well, look at too. Hopefully you guys pick up, not that you need me to pick up new listeners or followers, but obviously, Matthew, an author as well, your most recent book, Worshiptainment, which I got to read. Awesome. I know, Keith, you have a book coming out that's being republished. I can't remember who the publisher is, but pretty big publisher that will distribute that. So you guys have a lot to offer as well too. I will say this, and I just put this comment up here. I created an X account just to vote for Dr. Matthew Everhard. So
Thank you, Luke.
Maddie's got some guys that are, rooting for him too. Obviously, Parker Brown says no pressure, but my view on baptism will be decided at the coming debate.
Oh
no
my
pressure.
goodness.
Yeah,
Wow.
and then we have those that are just going, hey man, I'm just banking on getting one of those cigars.
Yes.
What's up? I'm here for the cigars, Terry. But yeah, it's awesome. And here's something I want to loop back to what Matthew said too. I saw a post that said whether you vote, and they said whether you vote for Matthew or Keith, vote for superior theology in both with civility. And I went, huh. And that got a lot of likes and reposts. And I went, with this whole year of brother wars and everyone being divisive and things like that, I kind of like that in this bracket, in the finals, being represented are two brothers that do not move away from solid biblical theology, but yet can be civil and kind and gentle and have between them millions and millions of views and followers. That to me tells me that you don't have to have clickbait. You don't have to say crazy things to get people on one extreme or the other, but you can actually stand firm in biblical love, kindness, gentleness, compassion, right? Long suffering, not give on your principles or theology and say, no, I absolutely believe in the word of God and I'm not deviating from that, and be civil and have people go, yeah, for some reason, I kind of like that. And we go, yeah, because that's the model of Christ and how he walked the earth. So I would commend both of you that I kind of think that was kind of the tone as we went down. I'm not throwing shade at any of the other podcasts. I'm just saying in a landscape of name calling and you're a heretic, we have two brothers that I think know how to be civil, know how to be kind, but also stand strong. We sometimes we take kindness for weakness, right? When in fact, meekness is having that sharpened sword, having it sheathed, but be willing and able to use it and have a knowledge on how to use it when need be. And that really does, for me, both of you guys kind of exude that definition of meekness. So kudos to both of you.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's exactly right.
I tell you what, that superior theology with civility.
So what?
I don't know who said that, but I want that on a shirt. I want to put that out because I think that is the best. I have a sort of semi tagline for my show. It's superior theology and denominational unity, one joke at a time, but that's long. Superior theology with civility is much better. It's shorter.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Whoever that person was, send me a message. I'll pay you for the rights to that, to put that junk on a t-shirt.
That's good stuff.
Yours. Yep. Once it goes on Twitter, it's free domain.
Game.
Yeah, public domain.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say, if I could, just for a minute, because what Matthew said earlier was very kind, and the things he's saying about me are very kind. At the same time, it's not over. I'm thankful that we're at this last round. We're still both trying to win, but we love each other. If he wins, I'm going to be so grateful for him and all the friendship that we have. And I'm sure if I win, it'll be the same. But when people look at the like our channels and the things that we do, it is, I mean, just Matthew, I look up to you a lot. And I want to say this. I feel like I already won because last night's competition was so hard. Today is not hard. Today is fun. I look up to you, your
totally
channel,
agree.
your content. And again, this is nothing against Ogden. The guys are, I said on my channel earlier, I said, Brian, Ben, you guys are very kind to me. You've always been very nice to me. And Haunted Cosmos is a very well produced, fun show. My kids have listened to it. It's nothing negative against them. But Matthew, I've learned from you, and you're my brother. You're a teacher of the word, and I'm thankful that that we get to do this together. And like I showed the video, it's like Rocky and Apollo. They rooted for each other and stood in each other's corner. So let's have a fun last day.
Absolutely. Totally agree. Thank you so much, brother.
Not to bring this down to my level, but which one of you are the black guy in that analogy?
Well, I'll answer that. I feel like Rocky because I feel a little less intelligent and a little less cool because Apollo was certainly smarter and cooler than Rocky. Rocky could take a punch and he could get out there and mix it up. But it's like Apollo said, you fight great, but I'm a great fighter. I feel like, I fight great, but Matthew's a great fighter.
Yeah, I think the one who has a few more creeds under his belt would be Apollo.
Yeah.
Gosh, Josiah, man. So fast with the comedy and the puns. I love it.
I try.
All right, guys. Yeah, we'll finish this up. We didn't want to stay too long. I know we're all very busy. We have things to do. Anyone have anything to say before we get off here? Obviously, voting is going on right now for the final two. Started 2 hours ago. You got 22 hours left. It's still close. It's less than a 10-point margin. I know it's going to shift back and forth all day. What do you guys have for us?
I have one last thing I have to say. because Matthew and I were talking about this before the show offline, we are going to do the debate, but everyone please be a little bit patient. Next week is my daughter's wedding, so I'm going to be busy all week. I'm actually performing her wedding. This is my first child to be married. I'm very excited to be a part of that, so I'm going to be kind of off busy next week. So but we will plan this debate as soon as we can and make sure we provide a good opportunity for people to listen and learn. So just keep your eye out for when that's going to be.
Yeah, that'll give us some time to pump up the debates and set the dates and the parameters and talk about some of the rules. And it's going to be on Greg's channel on the Dead Men Walking podcast. So be looking for that if you're not already a follower of Greg on Twitter and on his various socials. You're going to want to do that because you want to be updated so you know exactly when to tune in for this big debate.
Yep.
All right. Anything from Josiah, Joe, or Terry before we get out of here?
Yeah, I will just reiterate, I can't do a giveaway because we give away everything for free. So go get your free Squirrely Joe's coffee, which is unusually free. Go get your free Patriarch cigars, which are unusually free. And then go get your financial planning from a company that's always going to be free for you.
Absolutely. Reach out to them. They're tagged in every post. And if you guys need help getting a hold of any of these guys, you're free to DM me because we want you to support our sponsors. They're building something in the kingdom of God, and we want to support them onto the glory of God. So, guys, we got over, I don't know, between the socials, about 1,000 people watching. So go vote right now. You've got 22 hours left. It's been a fun ride, 11 days. Thank you for everyone who has joined and voted and reshared. Tomorrow at around 10:30, 10-ish, I think is when the bracket ends, and we will announce the winner with a live stream shortly thereafter. Time isn't set yet, but if we can work it out with the winner to have them on to present to them, that'll be our last live stream of the bracket and finish our 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks of voting. So, guys, as always, remember, you can find out more about us, dmwpodcast.com. Go get your Winum Dynum Romans 9 mug, or you can get the new shirt that we have up, the Job 13:5. How about you shut up and let that be your wisdom? Sometimes you got to quote scripture to the pagans, even if they don't like it. And as always, guys, the chief end of man is to glorify God and enjoy him forever. God bless.
That's right.
All right.